Gen Z was looking old. Okay? They're looking old. A few years ago, there were lots of Zers getting online and talking about how they were being mistaken for being sometimes like a decade older than they were. Not only is Gen Z looking older, piling on the plastic surgeries, the injections, they start to look a little midlife crisis-y. Let's say that. Let's be nice. They start to look a little second or third divorce. All of this is just marinating in a spicy stew on Gen Z's face. Oh, but guess what? Your girl's been putting weird things in her body again. There are ways to treat and even reverse the Zoomer old face. Are you ready to drink from the fountain of youth? So first of all, I just want to tell Gen Z, it's not your fault you're aging prematurely. I think you've been like looped into worrying about everything in the world that isn't yours to carry or worry about. You've also been sold faulty products that exhaust your skin. But today, we are going to fix this to the best of our ability in the most natural, gentle, and effective way possible. And I'm going to say that being a person who has tried all of these products, has seen results from these. So let's just dive right in because we have no time to waste. This ship might be sinking, but we are going to save your face. 2 things that you can do instantly to reverse old face if you're not already doing these. I feel like it would be a crime if I didn't mention this. Diet and sleep. If you have a diet that is excessive in the sugars, that will prematurely age your face. It has to do with how molecules bind to your collagen, make them brittle, and then your face can't repair itself. It starts to sag and look dull. This is a scientifically proven thing. I'll link a study down in the description. But what a lot of people don't know is that even if they think they have a low sugar diet, if you have a diet that's high in carbohydrates are chains of sugar molecules. As you start digesting carbohydrates, they break apart and get digested into sugars. That causes insulin spikes. That's going to make you want to eat more. And then as you have that high sugar count, that has that impact on the collagen and elastin in your face. So if you are experiencing old face, the first thing I would say to do is to switch from a high carb, high sugar diet to something low carb or no carb and see if you have any good results from that. Just try it for a few months. Also, once again, it would be a crime if I did not mention the impact that sleep has on your body. If your diet is high in sugar and your sleep life sucks, you need to handle those things first. There is no secret that is going to replace you just being good to yourself. But all this talk of like sleep leads us to our first product, which has been controversial, mouthtape. There are many brands. I like to use this Queen brand because it's pink and cute, but there's another brand that's really popular called Hostage Tape. How you use this is at night, you tape your mouth shut and it makes you breathe through your nose while you're sleeping. Now, if your breathing is a little hindered naturally, you have some kind of obstructed breathing, you're not supposed to use this. So make sure that you are healthy enough to use these if you would like to use these. But essentially what this does is because it helps you close your mouth while you're sleeping, not only does it help with snoring and help you get like deeper breath as you're sleeping at night, it causes you to nose breathe, which is very relaxing to the body. So if you have trouble calming down at night, this is a really good thing to experiment with and see if it helps you. I have the intention of using it for a month to see if I could notice any differences in my quality of sleep or how quickly I got to sleep. And y'all, it did not take a month. I started to notice that when I would put this mouth tape on, and I would even I was still scrolling on my phone, and I would start to feel like this calm kind of settle on my body, and it had to do with it balancing my breath. At first, I was like, am I just giving myself Stockholm syndrome? Am I falling in love with myself? I don't know. And all you do before bed, after you've cleaned your face and all of that stuff, is you press your lips together like this, and put the tape over it. And it makes you look like you've been kidnapped, but it works. Now, if you've heard about mouth tape on the internet, you've probably seen a lot of people claiming wearing mouth tape can snatch your jaw. If you are a woman who is under about 18 years of age and you are looking to improve what's called mouth breather face, which is where you're kind of jolly, you're more round faced, and you don't really have a prominent chin, because your body is still growing and changing, if you practice what went viral on the internet as being called mewing, where you have proper tongue posture in your mouth and your mouth is closed. This can help you practice that at night. And that pressure that's against the roof of your mouth as you sleep can cause your facial shape to change. So that's where that comes from. If you are 18 and above, or if you're a guy and I think it's like 21 and above, guys take longer to finish growing than girls. Using something like this to get rid of jowls or to snatch your chin may not work at all. Though healthy sleep has a lot to do with being able to lose weight properly, because getting enough sleep is going to help you with those cortisol levels that could prohibit you from losing weight easily. If you lose weight and your chin gets smaller, now you have a more snatched chin. So there are things that this can do to help those things, I would say, but I wouldn't rely on this alone to give you a snatched chin. But if you need better sleep, you know that you are not sleeping well, that is definitely impacting your skin. So maybe look into something like this if you have a really hard time sleeping at night because of anxiety, or your brain just won't stop thinking. Look into that. The next product we're going to talk about, which is also another controversial product, is Frownies. These are wrinkle patches that have been around for, I think, like over 100 years. As far as I know, it's still a family-owned company. And there are so many reviews on the internet and online, if you go look at like the Amazon listings, of people saying they love these patches. And it's people of all ages. When I was doing research into these patches, there are girls that look like they're in middle school or high school that already have like the Gen Z face, those standing wrinkles, using these and seeing results that they love. But then there's also women who were like up in their 60s, 70s, 80s using these facial patches. The science behind how these work is really, really simple. To best explain it, I'm going to put a little clip from she's like the granddaughter or the great-great-granddaughter of the woman who invented Frownies. I'm going to put her here explaining how this works, because she says best and she ain't got a wrinkle on her forehead.
You say that Frownies is like facial fitness. It's muscle training. You sit in a chair for 8 hours. When you go to stand up again, your muscles want to remain in that chair-like position. So it's kind of hard to straighten all the way back up. So imagine you hold the muscles completely flat all night long. They're totally relaxed and smooth. When you wake up and you take the Frownies off, that's the position that they want to hold. On the flip side, if you sleep at night like this, which so many people actually do furrow their brow in their sleep and they don't realize it, you're actually training your muscles to have that groove. When you wake up in the morning, that's the position that they want to hold, and that's the position that reinforces the wrinkles.
Now, why I was interested in this is because I myself started to get one really deep line right here on my forehead. I'm a very expressive person. You guys know this if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time. I have like all these like cartoony faces I'm always making. So I was just worried, y'all. I was worried about this crease on my face, and I started using these within about a week. I started noticing a drastic difference when I would take these off in the morning. Now, I will say, according to my research, if you have saggy skin, this is not going to be the answer for you, because if you have saggy skin that is a collagen elastin issue, you might need to try something that triggers autophagy in your body, which is doing like intermittent fasting, or again having a low sugar diet to see if you can restore that collagen. Because if you use these and you have saggy skin or excess skin around the face, it'll actually create some weirder lines because your skin will just kind of buckle over the Frownies. So the Frownies facial patches, they come in these stickers. There is a papery side and then there is a shiny side. The shiny side is the one that's going to have the adhesive on it. There are perforated edges, so you can break them off according to how you want to cover your face. I have to use like 4.5 of these or something like that, because I got that Tyra Banks forehead. I got, there's more of me to love up there. But they also break off not just in little squares, but in triangles. And everybody kind of has their own formation that they like to use with these. They do sell a rose water hydrator that they use to hydrate this, but you can just use warm water. I use cold water. I just spray it usually on my hand, and then I'll like dab some on the paper. And when the paper starts to buckle and will stick to my finger, then I will put it on my face. You have to stretch out your wrinkles. So if you're like dealing with 11sies, let's say, from doing all this frowning, before you put your Frownie on, you would get what shape you wanted. You would stretch out where you're going to put that, and then put that shiny, tacky side down on your face and then hold it to your face. As you apply the other pieces, they need to be layered because the idea is to create a solid cast around the area where you normally like do a lot of expressing and moving so that you can't move that during the night. This is going to train your muscles not only to not move, but to kind of reformulate how they're structured because they're not getting all that exercise that builds them into that certain shape that skin settles into. You follow? It's drying into a hard cast. As just paper mache'd my forehead. It's arts and crafts for your face. This simulates you having Botox. It does not allow you to move those muscles. This forehead ain't going nowhere. Then in the morning when you wake up, you put a little water on it or put water on your finger, and then you slowly work your finger up and down under the mask, pull it off. Whatever forehead cast that I've made, I have found that I can get about 2 uses out of it. So that doubles the length that one of these Frownie boxes is going to last. A box of these can be around $20. You get 144 of those patches. Right now, around the holidays, they start having all those Black Friday sales and things like that. So if you want to go and get you some of these patches, you can. I will leave a link down in the description. Any of the products that I covered today, I will leave an affiliate link down below and a discount code if any of the suppliers have given me a discount code. I would not be reviewing these or promoting these if I did not like them, actually use them. I actually had some affiliate offers come in because it's around Black Friday season and the holidays, and they were wanting me to review products without actually having the products. They just wanted me to talk about them, and I said no because I don't believe in supporting the things that I don't like. So just so you guys know, even though they're affiliate links, I support these things and am in the affiliate program because I like them, not the other way around. So now that we've covered more of the basic side of anti-aging and anti-aging products, let's dive into a little more of like the complex devices, the things that are going to be a little more like aggressively attacking any kind of blemishes or wrinkles or whatever that you might have on your face. So the first thing we're going to talk about is red light therapy. So if you're not the kind of person who wants to be jabbing your face with microneedles, but you have scars to heal, you have wrinkles that you want tightened, red light therapy could be a really good option for you. It sounds hokey, but then when you look at the science, you're like, oh, cool. A couple weeks ago, LumyHealth reached out to me and asked if I wanted to review one of their red light therapy facial devices. They were super cool with how I would review this product. I asked them if I could compare it to other products, if I could give an honest review about it, and they said yeah, which to me is a good sign, right? Because if you have a product that doesn't work, you're not going to allow people to give honest reviews about those things. But what Lumy didn't know when they were sending me this device is that I have already experimented with red light therapy devices. I have had 2 other masks. So I had like other red light therapy masks to compare this to. And I was like, listen, if they are sending me a crappy red light therapy mask, I'm gonna know. And there are a billion red light therapy listings on Amazon and the internet. Half of the time, those listings, even though they have red light in their product, the red light does not reach the wavelength that you need to see results with red light therapy. So I started looking around. I started looking around for other people who have reviewed Lumy. I started reading product listings. I started doing all of this stuff. And what I found is that people have really liked these Lumy devices. Now, I have the mask. They have like almost like a little sleeping bag for like your whole body you can lay on, which is really cool. Lumy, you want to send me one of those? I take it. And they have handheld devices. They also have caps because the benefits of red light therapy and how you might want to use red light therapy is so vast. And again, I will try and find a study and link that down in the description if you want to read more about it. But it can help everything from like seasonal depression, clearing up and anti-aging your skin, recovery. There was also a guy who, fascinating documentary. I will try and find that and link that down below. He was using red light therapy. He had a mark on his lower back from a previous little vlogumentary he did where he did like 1,000 sit-ups in one day, and he rubbed raw like an area on his back that was just like gross and it never healed up right. Then he started using red light therapy and started noticing that it started disappearing. So when you get a high quality red light therapy device, you are going to see results with this. This is something that has been proven time and time again. If a red light therapy device is going to be an effective device and actually having impact on your skin, there's a certain wavelength that it needs to operate at. It needs to be between 630 and 700 nanometers. Now, if I tell you to tell me one thing that you learned from high school, most people, even if they have been out of biology class for decades and decades, they will be able to tell you that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, right? This helps with the health of your mitochondria, your powerhouse of your cell. And if that mitochondria is working better, making better energy for you, then your cells overall are going to be healthier. And then you're going to have a healthier face because your face cells are going to be healthier. You see what I did there? It's all connected. This will increase collagen and elastin in your skin. So your skin's going to look firmer. It's going to be able to bounce back, heal better. It's going to improve circulation as well because it can trigger the release of nitric oxide. Am I saying that right? Nitric oxide. And it promotes vasodilation with the widening of your blood vessels. So your circulation is going to be better. If your circulation is better, you get more nutrients to your cells. You get more oxygen to your cells. Overall, that's going to be better for healthy cells. And again, healthy cells, healthy face cells, healthy face. See? But this mask doesn't just have red light therapy. It also offers other types of light as well. And let me tell you something, you guys. There are multiple reasons why I love this particular mask. Now, I know this looks like a serial killer's face, okay? This is a Kirsty guarantee. When you put this thing on, you're going to look like a serial killer. But if you use this on a regular basis, you are going to have the skin of a newborn baby. So I'm actually going to turn this on so you can see how it works. This comes with a cordless remote. You can go up to 30 minutes with this. You can do red light, but you can also do other variations of light because different types of light and their wavelength have different kinds of effect on your skin. And this does indeed have the wavelength that you need to see results with red light therapy. So much so that I accidentally, when I first started using this, I'll tell you about it in a second, but almost made myself throw up. Because I did not realize how powerful this was going to be and how it was going to affect me. Okay, stick around for that. But we have red light here, blue light, green light. Oh, I missed it.
Go back.
Yellow light. I don't even think you can see that on camera, but it's yellow. Purple light, cyan light, white light. And also with this, you have near infrared light. The near infrared setting, you guys, like I said, I am no stranger to red light therapy. Before getting this mask in, there were stints of my life where I was using it on a daily basis. There is no reason for me to have some kind of adverse reaction to red light therapy. However, in getting this, I didn't really do my research on near infrared light and what that meant. And essentially what that is it is light that, like red light, it penetrates the skin, but it's even deeper than that. And with this mask, you have this setting where you can use red light paired with near infrared light, like you can have those two settings at the same time. And I just popped that on my face and thought that I could do the full 30 minutes. And I started to get nauseous. And this happened 2 or 3 times where I had to take the mask off or change the intensity of it. And I was like, what is going on? I knew I wasn't overheating because this mask comes with these little holes where your face can breathe, which is great. I have other masks that don't have that and my face will start to sweat when I do this, even though it's not supposed to have a warming sensation. I would just sweat because my face couldn't breathe. This isn't heavy or irritating in any way. In fact, it's super comfortable to wear, but I was just getting sick at my stomach. I ended up, Googling it and come to find out it's a thing that can happen. If you don't work your way up to the higher settings on quality devices, you can make yourself physically sick because they can cause you to rapidly release toxins, supposedly, which that could instantly make you a little nauseous, but it can also stimulate the vagus nerve, which is connected to your gut. And so if that nerve, because of the length of the waves that's penetrating deep into your skin, if it stimulates that nerve, you can feel it in your gut. Okay, so while it was a little weird that I did it to myself, it kind of confirmed for me that this is a quality product. Now, something I also love about this mask, not only is it comfortable to wear, but it is completely hands-free. You charge this, you use this to change your settings that you want, and then you can just walk around the house with this on, and it's lightweight. I think the one thing that I didn't like about this is that both the mask and the remote have to be charged, and it only came with one charger cord. So that means you have to wait for one to charge, and then you have to wait for the other to charge instead of charging them at the same time. It would have been nice to have 2 charger cords or some kind of dual charger, but I love this. I also love the count of the bulbs that it has in it. See the little tiny bulbs in there? I know it looks like I'm about to unalive you, huh? Yep. But it's great. And again, for me, I am sold that this is a really great product and a really great brand to buy from. I do have a discount code that you guys can use. I will put that down here at the bottom of the screen. This is a really great model. I love this. And the cool thing is red light therapy is so popular that it's starting to get incorporated into other facial devices as well, which is going to lead us to our next product that I'm really excited about. And I'm a little shocked at this one. Okay. I got some benefits from this one that I was just not expecting. And that's why if I seem like a little bumfuzzled at this, that's why. This is the INIA at-home microcurrent facial device. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Now, right away, I was up for it because it has red light therapy technology. I was like, cool. Okay, cool. The device is this little wand that has like these little, what would these be, diodes on the end there. This device emits what's called a microcurrent. It's kind of this little electrical pulse that stimulates your muscles in your face. Again, earlier we were talking about what muscles had to do with wrinkles. Microcurrent technology has been something that has also been, again, all of these have been like really, really controversial. Knowing what I know about how Frownies really help, this is not an answer for, again, fixing really saggy skin, though the red light therapy that's in this may help with that a little bit. Think about how, like a facial massage, not only can it help reduce puffiness and redness and that kind of thing, it can also relax you. It can also improve circulation. If you have better blood flow to your cells, they're going to be rejuvenated quicker and better, and they're going to be more lively, and you're going to have like a better color to your face. That's what this does. And this particular device has 3 different settings on it. It has a lift setting, it has a tighten setting, but then there's also an infuse setting. And then each of these 3 settings have a 1, 2, 3 setting in their intensity as well. Now, probably because I did derma rolling for so long, I believe that I have a higher tolerance than most people when it comes to facial devices like these. There are some people who say that the lowest setting with like the lowest pulses is the highest that they can do because they can feel it stimulating their muscles and it's either irritating or it can get like a little painful if they try and going higher. I use this on the highest setting on either 3 of those settings, and it was fine for me. The flare comes with a hydrating conductive gel. You do not want to use this without using a conductive gel. This is a water-based gel. You're going to put a little bit on the head. I like to put a little bit on the center of the headpiece here, wipe it around a little bit, and then use the excess and wipe that on my face. And that's going to help this glide and conduct that current through your skin better. Do not use this without using enough gel. If people have complained that microcurrent devices have done anything terrible to their skin, it's most likely because 1, they were not prepared for the intensity that they used with this. They didn't work their way up to it, or they used it too much, because there is kind of a cap of how much you want to use this, or they used the wrong kind of gel with it or not enough gel with it. So be sure you're following the instructions when using this, especially because it's your face. Don't be doing anything to your face that could damage your face. You only get one face. Once you have your conductive gel on here, you're going to want to press it against your face and then use it in like sweeping upwards motions. That's going to kind of train those muscles and exercise those muscles of your face in the direction you want them built, which helps with face contour. So again, if you're somebody who has what I call that mouth breather face, where you're like, oh, and you want to get like a more contoured face, using this regularly can help that. Okay, look, when I'm close, you can see it start to move my eye. It's because the pulses are there, especially when I go up here. I'm winking at you. I try not to get it that close to my eye, but I just wanted you to see that it's got a pulse going. So a lot of people use it in the morning to help with puffiness before they put on their makeup and go out for the day. There are people who say before you use Frownies, you want to do like a gentle facial massage to kind of like loosen up everything and improve circulation before putting your Frownies on. So I was like, okay, I will use this because it's essentially like a really deep face massage. I'll use this on that forehead where I had that standing wrinkle, and then I'll put my Frownies on. So I started doing that. Really enjoyed that, but I started seeing some unexpected results from it. There's 2 things I did not expect it to improve and help with, and it did. There's sometimes you can see there's like a divot, or used to be, in the top of my head from a scar that I had. Now, it's a really long story. The girl was on a dumpster. The cops were coming. I jumped off. Foot got caught on the dumpster. I got slung forward, and I headbutted the trunk of a car. and it was a deep indent. I think it damaged that facial muscle up there, because even as it healed, it wasn't that it was like a puckered up scar, but it was just this deep indent in my head that easily looked like a really deep scar when I would flex my head like this. And you could probably still maybe see it if I do that. I started using this on my forehead, targeting this area of my head and this, because I was like, I mean, if I can improve my scar on my head, I want to. You use this side of your face for 4 minutes, and this beeps when it's time for you to change. 4 minutes over here, 4 minutes over here, 2 minutes on the forehead. I don't know how to explain this, guys. Slowly, the divot that has been in my head for years now, from where your girl jumped off a dumpster, banged her head on a car, is like slowly disappearing. And on top of my face divot all but disappearing, I think it's been about every night that I use this, I will not only go into a deeper sleep, even if I don't use the mouth tape, even if I haven't been using red light therapy, I will have some like deep melatonin dreams with this. I kid you not. And I don't even know what to think. Is it stimulating some kind of nerve? Am I like decrystallizing my third eye? I don't know. But this technology, this isn't new. This was developed in the 1970s, and originally it was used for physical therapy to treat damaged facial muscles and paralysis. But now they've combined that microcurrent that helps work things and energize things and increase your ATP with things like red light therapy and products that can better hydrate your skin. So I just want to highlight that, because people have been all over the internet saying that these things don't work. A lot like Frownies, this is something that has been around for a really long time, and people have seen results with this. Again, it's not going to be awesome if you have super saggy skin, but now that they've combined microcurrent with red light, that's like a 1-2 punch for creating healthy skin and helping to not only to contour your face, but to help tighten things. It's done some stuff that I wasn't expecting it to do. While I have been using all of these products, you may want to mix and match these, or just use 1 or 2 of these to see what works for you according to what you need. I am not by any means telling you need to go out and buy all of these in order to see progress. So let me know down below if any of you all have used these, or if you want to try these, and as well as any questions you have, and I will try and do research and let you know. But long live Gen Z's face.